What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Nova. Going to just be throwing in some door handles, some latches, just so we can get the doors opening, closing. This car runs and drives and moves now, so we want to try to get it to where we can get the glass back in it and basically the bumpers, all the trim back on it. Try to get it roadworthy because it does run and drive, and we want to get it out and test that engine. This engine's rebuilt, new, doesn't have any road miles on it, so that's the goal. We're gonna put everything back on it, try to get it street legal again, and put some miles on it. So today we're just gonna start by putting the door handles in, the latches, pretty much just put all the mechanisms back in the doors and try to get them opening and closing. So I'm gonna give you guys some shots of that. As you can see, it's just a box of parts right now, but we're gonna get that all put back in, cleaned up. It's all, none of it's pretty. Look, this car is not pretty. So it's all just driver quality stuff, and that's basically all this car is gonna be, is just something to go out and have fun with and beat on and have fun with. That's it, you know, that's what it's all about. It's not really gonna try to make it pretty or anything, because it's just not that kind of car. As you can see, it needs a lot of work. So we're getting there. We'll get it back on the road, have some fun with it. That motor is pretty potent. It's a 383 stroker, 4-speed. This car's got a brand new Ford 9-inch in it, so we haven't even road tested that yet. So I guess let's get into it. All right, so we got the door handle on. Couple bolts, easy peasy, no big deal. We got the striker latch mechanism installed. 3 bolts there, pretty easy stuff. We've got the inside of the door gutted right now. You can see in there, so it's super easy to get at without the window lift regulator in there. So next we're just gonna throw the striker bolt in. You guys can see there, nice and clean. We'll get that put in, and then we'll be able to open and close the door. All right, so we got the latch mechanism in. We got the striker bolt installed, and the door handle. We got action now. Boom. All right, you guys, it's the next day. Today we're gonna concentrate on the Nova again. We're gonna try to get the rear glass installed and the front windshield installed. You can see we got it all prepped. We had to put in a few of these window trim screws before we put the window in, because a lot of the old ones rotted off. You can get these screws at NPD, any restoration company sells them. Most of the old trim buttons that hold the trim on rot out. A lot of this window channel here was replaced because it was rusty. But it's all solid now, and we're gonna go ahead and try to install the glass and put the trim on today. We went ahead and picked up a brand new windshield and rear window. Again, restoration, repop stuff, both brand new. The old glass was really kind of scratched and damaged. It was original, so just decided to buy new stuff and put it in. They weren't that expensive for this car anyways. Almost every part you can get aftermarket for these cars. The aftermarket support is amazing on these. Not that, that stuff's better than original, because it's not. We all know that from trying to fit aftermarket fenders and hoods and everything. I mean, I guess that's just well known in the industry that it never fits right. So hopefully the glass will be okay and it'll fit good and we won't have any issues. So we'll see. This car was severely rusted when I bought it. I got it for 1,500 bucks, probably 10, 15 years ago, but it needed literally every single panel on it replaced. The floorboards, the trunk, the quarters, the inner and outer rear wheel wells, everything was very rusty, including this dash right here. The steel part of the dash here was severely rotted across here. So I went and ordered a new panel and replaced it. Came out pretty good. We'll see if this glass fits right. So well, we got our marks marked where the window is gonna go, and we have all our little clips installed for the trim, which is way easier to do it before you put the window in. Worry about cracking the windshield. So we'll see how this goes. All right, we got one more thing done. We got the glass installed, front and rear. And one last thing to do on this thing before we can get it out on the road. Still got to do the regulators and the doors and the side glass on both sides. And then bumpers and headlight bezels and grills and lots of trim. All that still coming. All right, guys, we're back at it the next day. We got quite a bit done on the Nova. I got a lot of the glass installed. As you can see, the front windshield's installed. Got the trim on it, quarter windows, new door glass, and new rear quarter glass, as well as a new back window. So kind of just chipping away at stuff on this thing, trying to get it back to being roadworthy and drivable. I mean, it's not too far off. You guys are gonna kind of see the little details going back into it here right before we get it out and start test driving it. This car has absolutely 0 road miles. It's really only driven around the yard and back into the garage, so it really needs to be shaken down and adjusted. Every single thing needs to be looked over and adjusted and, you know, turned into a reliable street car. But yeah, as you can see, this passenger side windows still need to be installed. We got the regulator there that needs to go in. See, it kind of just popped the quarter window in. Working on some of the interior trim pieces, A-pillar covers. This car's got a nicely installed headliner, thanks to my dad, the man. He's been doing this stuff for many years, so he's pretty good at it. It's got a bench seat, obviously. It's been recovered, new covers, new carpet, all new dash pad, gauges. Everything's been updated and replaced. So we're just gonna keep cracking at it and trying to get these things done. You know, we're right there. I'd say within like a few weeks of working on this thing, we're gonna have it street legal. So you guys will see it out driving around and getting road tested. I can't imagine how much stuff we're gonna need to adjust, and hopefully I don't break down, but that's just part of the game. So yeah, we'll get there, we'll get it done, and you guys will witness it along with all these other project cars. That vet over there needs tons of work. There's just so much to do out here. It's just me and my dad chipping away at this stuff. So if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe and follow and give me a thumbs up. And of course, comment. Like, I ain't gonna get offended. So if you guys you wanna throw your 2 cents in there, let me know what you guys think about what's going on here. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of opportunity to talk with us about what we're doing out here and our plans and for all these cars and what we're gonna do with them. My plan is for this car, I want to make it into a street strip car. So I have never drag raced in my life. So it's kind of a bucket list thing that I really just want to do. Is I've been dying. I've been watching people drag race at tracks for years and just never been out there. So I kind of started building this car for that reason. I mean, it's mini tubbed. It's got a Ford 9-inch in it. It's got a 383 stroker with 450 horsepower. So I'm really dying to see what it's gonna do at the track. So if you guys, if you got similar setups, the 383, 4-speed 9-inch, let me know what your car runs. You know, I'd like to know. So comment, please. I took all these doors and regulators out years ago. So it's kind of hard to remember where everything goes, but fortunately this stuff's not too complicated, so just kind of just throw it back in there. You'll figure it out eventually. Which is what I'm doing. If you guys have wrestled with putting glass in regulators in these old cars, let me know what your experience is. Let me know if you're good at it or if you absolutely hate it. I don't know anybody that would like doing these things like this. Every piece in here is razor sharp. You cut your hands up. It's just not a fun part putting the cars back together. I'll be glad when it's over with. Very glad. We're almost there. Just got to finish this side and glass will be installed. A lot of guys will hire people to do this because they hate doing it or don't know how to do it. We've never been that kind of family. We've always done everything or tried to do every single thing we can ourselves. And most of the time, if you just take things apart and figure out how to put them back together, you'll figure it out. Like that, boom. Regulators in. Not too bad. Gotta get the door handle installed, interior door handle, so we can open the door from the inside. And then once everything's installed, I'll go back through and tighten everything up. But you want to leave everything loose before you do that. You don't want to crank anything down. So you'll end up loosening it up and having to move it anyways. Door rod. Love it when that happens. One thing you gotta have when you're working on these cars is patience. Learned that over the years. If you don't have patience, you'll never make it. You'll end up throwing a wrench through the wall and getting all angry. I'm sure you guys have been there, I have. Cussing like a sailor. Which tends to help, but YouTube frowns on that. You really gotta watch what you yell out. They don't like it. Loosely bolted in. You gotta hook it up to the door latch. Alright. Should be halfway home. I don't know if I have a pole for this. I gotta find it. Well, I couldn't find the door pole, so we're just gonna use a window crank. It's got the same end on it. It'll work for now. At least test it. Door open. All right. regulators in. We gotta put the glass in still, of course. Door latches in. All right. Here's the door lock mechanism, the manual one that goes up and down inside the car. I believe it goes like this. This little thing catches a latch on the door latch and pulls it up and down. Gotta make sure it gets in there. That did not do. There we go. Should work now. Yep. There we go. Locked, unlocked. Sweet. One last thing. Trying to get these new windows into the original window tracks. You got to actually use window setting tape, which is kind of like a sticky butyl rubber, and it goes inside the track here, and then the window gets pinched inside the middle. That's all there is. It's always a wrestling match. It's never easy. Anything that has to do with installing glass into these old cars is a wrestling match. Count on that. If you guys have ever done it yourself, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it. Kind of see how I got it folded in half in the channel. Now the window is just going to kind of pop in there, hopefully. Oh, something very important. If you don't want to do this twice, make sure that the window channel guide is towards the inside of the door where the little roller goes in. You put that on backwards, you're gonna know it. You're gonna have to take it all back apart and do it all over again. When in doubt, beat it with a hammer. And it really helps to have an old wore out chair in the garage that's soft to do this on. Always a wrestling match. Always. Wow. You gotta be a good wrestler. Wow, this thing gave me a run for my money. These are not easy. I give glass guys mad props for doing this kind of stuff. It is extremely hard to put these regulators in, the glass, the frames, get everything lined up. Not easy, I got it done. But wow. Pain in that, you know what. Holy crap. All right, well, we got everything loosely fitted. I'm gonna go back through, tighten everything up, make sure it's all adjusted, but we got this door glass in. You guys kind of saw how it went. Not really gonna do how-to videos on here, just kind of gonna throw this thing together and you guys can follow along. So you guys get mad because I'm not showing you every little detail. Sorry, it's just me, I can't get the camera shots, so it's gonna be kind of just me throwing the things in, and it's just how it is. So never really counted or planned on having a channel that's a how-to. It's just more me showing you guys us putting the cars together, kind of doing our thing, and I feel like you guys would be interested in seeing that. But if you guys ever have to do regulators and glass in your muscle car, wow, get ready for a challenge. It's not easy. But anyways, we got it in. Now I can move on to the back quarter glass, which is the last window to do in here. And then we can start putting on door panels and covering some of this stuff up. Can't wait. So let's just move along. Thought I was in trouble because I didn't put my felt strip in, but the window will drop down far enough to get these in. And they just kind of slide into the factory notches, click in. Boom. Always a wrestling match. You gotta be tougher than the part. Don't, you won't make it. Wow. I would say the window installation is about a 12 on the Richter scale of 1 to 10. Very difficult. Wow, it looks pretty good though. And it works. Nice. So there we go. We got our felt strip in, new glass, quarter windows installed, and now we get to work on the rear quarter window. That's the last one. I cannot wait until I'm done.
Trying to keep it going even though I knew it was overheating.
That's scary.
Almost burned it down.
That is scary.
Yeah, scared myself that time. Scott even saw me out here and he heard me shut the engine off right away and come walking out of the barn, shaking my head. And he says, "What was going on over there?" I said, "Well, lucky to be alive. Lucky I didn't burn my barn down." I let it cool down before I came back in here. I wasn't coming back until... That was the closest I've ever come to cause a real catastrophe.
Yeah, I don't like messing with gas.
Yep. And there's one of those fuel pumps on the 65 Vet that I haven't changed out yet that has that same nipple.
I was worried when I did my fuel lines in my truck. Once I got to a point, it just started pouring out.
Yeah.
Even though I was catching it, it's just all those fumes and everything.
Yeah.
You don't see that. You see the liquid, but you don't see where the fumes are going.
Right. Graveyard Cars, there was a story on there about a guy that had a Henny Cuda and closed up, went in the house, came back the next morning and it had a gas leak and it leaked all night and he turned the light on and the whole thing exploded.
Oh wow.
It burned the Cuda to the ground and the barn and they were talking about how to restore it, how to save it.
You can. I've seen the guys do it. They strip them right back down, right to their bodies.
That's what they were doing.
Take everything off of it and
Replace the roof and whatever needs to be replaced.
blast it and start all over.
They would put it back together. Probably 150 grand, but
Yeah. But it's worth it to save the car if you can.
yeah.
Can't make it anymore.
But I always think of that guy when I hear it smell fuel in here.
All right, you guys, I think we got a lot of this video wrapped up. We got a lot of things put on the car, trying to get it back on the street so we can shake it down. We got bumpers on, we got glass in, we've got trim on, we got handles working, lots of little things went on. So it's actually starting to look like a complete car again. All right, yep. Got all the grill pieces in place, got the bumper on, eyebrow trim, lots of little details going into the car now. Drove it around the yard some more. Everything seems to be working all right. All the glass was in. Got the rear bumper on. Gotta do a few more things like key cylinders and just a few odds and ends. The front end suspension really needs some attention. I gotta get in there and tighten it up, adjust. The alignment needs to be adjusted. Just a lot of little stuff still, but it's coming along. If you guys are digging this finish up on this ratty old Nova, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for a lot more. This thing's gonna get ring out. Like, I'm gonna take this to the track. It's gonna get ran a lot, and I'm gonna push it to its limits. So if you guys are interested in that, just stay tuned. Give you a shot of the interior. Bench seat, 4-speed. It's got all aftermarket autometer gauges in it. No AC, no heat, none of that stuff. So it's pretty much just like a stripped down race car is what I'm going for. Back seats in it. This car is Detroit Speed mini tubbed, so I'm actually able to keep the back seat in it, which I liked. And I still have a 295 in the back right now, and there's still more room under there. I believe you can fit up to like a 305 or even a 315, which should be plenty for what this car is gonna do. So that's about it for this video. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys would comment on it and just let me know what you think about the direction it's going in. And if I should change things or whatever, I am open to all your suggestions. So with that, appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe for more. And you guys are gonna see a lot of content. There's a lot of cars in here that need a lot of work. So a lot of paint jobs and interiors that gotta get done. Mechanical needs to get done. There's stuff everywhere. So tune in, stay cool, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.